Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's cold here. I'm freezing. My feet are ice blocks. I've got my heater on and everything, but I'm cold. Matthew 16, verse 18 says, "And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it." And if you know the story of Peter, this is kind of a sort of a weird thing to tell him because, yes, he is the father of the Catholic Church that started in Rome. Um, and the gates of hell have not prevailed against it. It's still going strong. It's what Peter started. But Peter was crucified upside down. He was murdered by those who opposed him. He It wasn't an easy death that he died, but he prevailed because that church, that community, that thing that Peter started, that Christ said he would start, still stands today. It's still it's still an institution, and it still grows. Whether you agree with them or not, or whatever, this prophecy, this thing that Christ said about Peter, was real. And sometimes we feel like we're being crucified upside down. We are pushing towards a goal which we know God has asked us to do. We are confident that it is a good thing that we want to do or a good place that we want to go. We are confident that God has got us in hand and He has a plan for us. And so we push forward. But sometimes we feel like we're being crucified upside down. And that thing that we are convinced that God has called us to, we have these questions. Is it? Isn't it? If it were, why is it so hard? All these things that are important to know, we think. And all we really need to know is that in this moment, in this space, in this thing, in this idea, we are the rock that God has placed there on the behalf of all of the others that He wants working for Him. So can you stay the course? Can you know what your fate is and then still trust that it is in God's plan? It's very hard, and in these times we are struggling in the world with a pandemic. And we are walking against the wind, and we've got people saying take the vaccine, and we've got people saying have faith, and we've got people saying that if we take the vaccine we don't have faith, and but regardless of all those things, we are walking against a hurricane wind. And even without this whole COVID thing, we would still feel we are walking against a hurricane wind. It might not be as strong, but life gets like that. We are always fearing that we are going to be crucified upside down in our business, in our family. We've got to look after these things so much. We've got to nurture and build relationships with our children, with our spouses, with our sisters and brothers and mothers and fathers. We've got to really work hard at it. And still, we sometimes feel like we're being crucified upside down. I make a decision around not going places because it's COVID and I'm nervous about my comorbidities. And I get judged because I'm doing other things that that person feels. Sometimes I'm doing the judging. I'm not saying I'm the innocent one here. But sometimes you just got to look and say, that is what God has intended for that person. And how that person plays out their life is up to them. I don't think Peter's life was easy after Jesus said that thing to him. You are the cornerstone, the beginning of my building of my church. I am the beginning of the church. but you're going to be the beginning, the cornerstone. Because in those days when they built things, they started with a cornerstone. It was not an easy task, and he didn't come through it unscathed. And he was crucified upside down as a disgrace. And yet, the Catholic Church still stands today. Jesus was right. So ask Jesus today, what is he saying about you? And even if you're feeling a little bit hurt or fearful or under fire, know that what Jesus says about you is the truth. Remember that. Have a wonderful day, and we'll speak again tomorrow.